All right, hi friends. Welcome to the Superior Hiking Trail. We're out here at the East Agnes campsite, and today we're going to go over a little bit of details on trip planning, travel techniques, and how to accurately work a map and compass to your environment.
The first thing to consider when planning a trip is going to be your location, route, and itinerary. These are the three main things to start off your trip planning. With location, you're going to want to know some knowledge about the area that you're going to be traveling in. Get your hands on some maps. Figure out the type of terrain you're going to be traveling on throughout the course of your entire trip, and any rules and regulations that you need to know, especially permits, and if you need to apply for those a good chunk of time ahead of your trip. Another thing to consider about the location is going to be your weather and climate patterns. So this can also be done closer towards the time of your trip to get the most up-to-date weather. And if you are planning on more than a week or a multi-week trip, then you need to be doing some planning and checking up on the weather as you go along. It's important that you do get your hands on map, and so on this trip we have a physical map and compass, and then I also have a trail map on my phone as well. It's an app that I got. So that's two forms. So the map and compass, obviously, if my phone dies or I don't have service or anything. Route, making sure you know where you're going to be staying each night if you are moving or if you are just staying in one location. And making sure that you're following the campsite rules that are posted at the campsites on the more established campsites.
So you've done this trail before, but I haven't. If I was looking to have a group of friends come out here by myself, where could I find maps at?
You can find maps for this trail specifically on the Superior Hiking Trail Association website, or like REI has some of the maps, or some of the retailers in this area in Duluth might also have each of the maps. And something to note about this trail is that there is 6 different maps that you will need for different segments. So do some research on the segment you want to do and make sure you get the appropriate map, because they're not all equal.
Cool. So in order to plan your trip out, you have to have some established baselines, right? So for our trip, these are the key points. Food, menu planning for each meal. We're going to be out here for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday morning. Essentials, TP, hygiene, females need to accommodate. Equipment, tent, water source, purifier, wet weather gear, cooking utensils, bear bag. Double check all your things the night before, so you're not forgetting the more essentials like water bottles and spoons. And always make sure that you have fuel for your vehicles, spare tires, and the tools needed to change them. All the maps you need getting to the location beforehand in case you run into any service issues. But those things will make sure that you have a safe, successful trip. Itinerary, where you're going, how long you're going to stay, and then how long you're going to take to get back. So for this trip specifically, it looks like we traveled an hour and 48 minutes to the Lutsen Mountains rec area, traveled north, and then once we finish up here, we're going to have another hour and 48 minutes back. So something to think about if you're accommodating larger groups on a more strict time schedule and not just 3 friends out in the woods.
And another thing to consider with a larger group is group gear. And so you might want to get together with your group, lay out all your gear, and make sure you have it all there. Double checking it and making sure that it's all covered for the entire group. Planning your trip is going to be your food and water sources along the way. On this trip, we knew that there was going to be plenty of water, so we brought a water filter. We didn't bring too many water bottles because we knew it was going to be highly accessible. But we knew that we were going to be grabbing water from streams and lakes, so we made sure to bring our water filter here.
So another thing is to is to know what you'll be using. We didn't bring a stove this round, so we decided that we're just gonna use pots, right? And use our fire to use all of our cooking and everything that we need to get done. So all of our food's in a bear bag, right? You just tie it up with a couple square knots. It's pretty self-explanatory. So I'll break it down into quick trail items, right? So things that we're doing on the trail that we're not going to stop and eat, like lunch. We're just going snacks, granola bars, Gorp, nuts, Pop-Tarts, good for breakfast. Everyone likes beef jerky.
Tortillas and peanut butter.
Yes, tortillas and peanut butter.
A jelly.
Yep, you got mashed potatoes, Spam, and ramen. Okay. So for your dinners, right, which those mainly were, like we go into the vehicle and passenger idea, right? So we want a vehicle. So the vehicle's our tortilla.
Our tortilla.
And then our passengers are grape
Peanut
jelly,
butter,
peanut
jelly.
butter, cream cheese.
Crunch up a granola bar, throw
Yep.
it on there.
Throw some Spam on there.
Throw some Spam on the peanut butter.
And then you just roll it up, right? And it's nutritious.
And then you just inhale it.
And that's just, yeah, and it's a nutritious trail lunch or dinner. So also with the pan, right? We can make ramen, right? So
Coffee for the morning,
Yep.
for the caffeine lovers.
you gotta get the espresso. So that's mainly that's our idea, right, of what we were going to use on this trail, and it's really kind of just made up, you know what I mean, into kind of bits and pieces. But and it's something to think about if you're going to a bigger, more organized trail. Make sure you have a stove, right? Many a pot sets you have.
It's not a bad backup. So like if we got in some more colder, wetter weather than we've been having right now, a stove would be a crucial part of that, because you're gonna want a nice hot meal for those cold, wet nights to keep you from getting hypothermia or anything. So that's always a good backup, even if you are having a cooking on the campfire.
Yep, exactly. So I think out of all the trip planning, that food is the most essential, all right? And I think it's the most you have to double check and take time for. How much food should you bring on a trip? Our trip, we brought just basic items. We're going out here for 2 nights, 3 days. So, I mean, but if you're going out here for 5 to 9 days, you want some actual substantial trail meals, you know? You want
You're
things
gonna
that are
want to
gonna
pack
last.
maybe even a day more food than you expect to spend out there. So if you expect to spend 5 days out there, you might want to pack 6, just in case something happens. You can't get to that access point, your final exit point. You can spend another day. You're prepared for that.
Yep.
Or if you just need more calories one day, you go super hard one day and you need a little extra more calories, then you have that extra supply to dip into.
And be smart, right? Like some of this stuff, we didn't go as far as through hikers would. So you want to make sure that you think light on your food items as well, okay? So I think that covers it though.
When traveling on uphill terrain, you're going to want to take shorter, slower steps to decrease fatigue going uphills.
Another thing that you can do is that you can also take a rest step, which is so basically what you're going to try to do is reduce your calf fatigue. So you're going to keep the foot as flat as possible, and you're going to swing your leg up to here, and then you're going to use your skeletal muscles and your bone, right, to support your body weight. So you're not really using your muscles to. So
when traveling downhill, you're going to want to consider the same things that we considered when we were walking uphill, but we're just going to apply them to downhill to reduce knee fatigue, especially when you're going down steep terrain. So you're going to want to take slow, controlled steps, being really in control of your movement.
So then you'll come to some steeper points in the trail. So you're going to angle your body weight and your pack straight, and then you're going to sidestep down. So that way there's not so much back and forth. You're going to turn around and keep going, and every time to help prevent injury on the...
Hi guys. So when traveling on more established trail systems, you might come across a trailblaze. Oh, and here's one right now. This is called a trailblaze. And we're out here on the Superior Hiking Trail. The trailblazes are blue. And so they're also going to be spur trails, which will be blazed in white to differentiate them from the main trail. And so when we started off our hike this for this weekend, we started on a spur trail, and it will say spur trail and either have white trailblazes or have the crest of the trail and say spur underneath it. And those will either get you to the main trail or be a separate day hike that you can do if you set up camp along the way. So the trail begins. Here we go. Uphill traveling right off the bat, putting our skills to practical use.
So while you're out traversing the trail, right? So you're gonna want to keep snacks handy. You know, plenty of water, plenty of snacks. So your breaks are gonna be want to taken every 20 to 60 minutes. They're gonna be up to 5 minutes. 5 minutes helps reduce the lactic acid in your body that gets built up. So take as long as you need, but keep breaks as short as possible.
You're gonna want to also plan breaks and snacks to keep group morale high and keep everybody in a positive, good mood.
Prevent hangry.
Prevent hangry. Yep.
So today in this section of the video, we're going to discuss how to navigate with a map and compass. So starting off today on this trip, we started in the Lutsen Mountains recreational area, took a spur trail under the main trail itself. For the main trail, we shot right and traveled north to East Lake Agnes campsite. So in order to do that, we need a compass, and it can be any compass, it doesn't need to be fancy. We're going to orient compass to the north, and then we are going to put our arrow on the direction that we won't need to travel to get our orientation. So we're going to spin this dial till it's housed on the north, and then we're going to count our degrees out on the side here, which leads us to about 42 degrees. So we take our compass and we take it to 42 degrees, and then we'll follow that down the trail, and then that'll give us our direction of travel. And that's it.
Hey guys, so those are our tips and tricks on route planning, travel techniques, and
map and compass navigation. So we hope that you get out here and you get out amongst it in the absolutely beautiful Superior Hiking Trail.
Hit
on
that
the East
subscribe
Agnes
button.
campsite, right up there.
Right up there, that
Right
subscribe
up there,
button.
that subscribe button.
Hit the
Right there.
notification bells for
Get it,
all our
get it.
latest videos.
Absolutely. Hope
And-
you guys learn a lot.